Cost of living is obviously a factor that anyone needs to take into account when they're considering moving to live in another country. The government requirement is that you either have a capital lump sum of $24,000 or a monthly income of $2,000. So it begs the obvious question, could I afford to live on that in Mauritius? I think living on that income in the UK, yes, it's achievable, but I'm convinced that the quality of my life here on that budget is considerably easier. The first thing is the cost of rental here, so it's at least half what it would be in the UK, so I can afford a very nice villa with its own garden and a swimming pool, which I would not be able to afford in the UK. Plus, of course, the weather here means that an outdoor life is a daily factor, and it's worth having a swimming pool because you would use it a lot. I use it pretty much every day. So given that I'm renting here, the cost of rental property is the biggest outgoing, and it's affordable here in a way that it wouldn't be for me in the UK. Other, if you like, daily costs for comparison, petrol is about half the price of the UK, slightly more than half, but it makes a significant difference. Not that you drive huge distances here because it's a small island, but filling up the tank with petrol is a much easier prospect than it is in the UK. Food is, in many products, about the same. Because so much food has to be imported, and we're a long way from mainland here, so that the cost of importing food here must be pretty high. A lot of foodstuffs are about the same as they are in the UK, but anything that's produced here locally is very cheap. So the breads which are baked here are cheap. Fresh produce here, really cheap and very good. So foodstuffs, you have to shop carefully, but then you can manage within a budget fairly easily. Going out for coffees, teas, dining out, going to bars, pubs, restaurants, I would say slightly cheaper than the UK, probably to about 80% of what you would expect in the UK. Although a daily coffee in a nice coffee shop is probably more like half the price. Last time I was in the UK, I did notice that your cappuccino or your flat white or whatever your particular fancy is considerably more expensive than it is here. So if what you like to do is go for a walk, stop and have a coffee and a cake, it's cheaper to do that here. And if that's a daily part of your life, then that will add up and it's more affordable here. But I think the rental prices here are what makes life much more accessible, and on that notional budget of $24,000 a year, you can live very comfortably within that limit.
If you have any questions about living, retirement, or doing business in Mauritius, please remember there are hundreds of articles that I've written on my website at MauritiusWealth.mu. Just use the search facility, search for whatever you're looking for, and hopefully you'll find the answer. If not, then by all means reach out. You can email me by visiting MauritiusWealth.mu/contact. Visit that link, send me an email, and I'll happily try and help you.